Hello ladies and gentlemen, before we start this awesome video, we kindly ask you to subscribe to our channel, give it a thumbs up, and a comment would be so much appreciated. You guys don't know how much it helps us, keeps us motivated, and wanting to share more great videos with you. Now, let's jump on today's video. 5 anime like Sword Art Online. How's it going? Today we'll talk about a show from the past. Let's turn the clock back, going all the way back to 2012 when we were little kids. I still remember back in 2012 we had a lot of new shows lined up for the year. We were still bewitched by the endless action Hunter x Hunter provided, and it had raised our standards to the point that it would take a lot more than just a decent fight to make us reward the anime with words like amazing or unbelievable. But still, we had a strong lineup and there were a lot of shows to look forward to. Sword Art Online was a name that stood out from the start since its light novel had been around for a while and it has one of the biggest fan bases ever to exist, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger by the day. People were really excited to see how it would play out in the big screen. It was a good show and had attracted quite a bit of audience during the entirety of its runtime. The whole other world gaming setting was something that had surely been done before, but the whole idea was kind of new and made Sword Art Online stand out as a show no one should miss out on. It's safe to say that it was a show that laid the foundation for the whole isekai genre that future anime were based on, and it's responsible for some of the best series we know today. It contributed a lot to the anime industry as a whole when it comes to unique genre elements being put in a blender just to see how the smoothie would turn out. Sure, the anime had mixed reviews by the end of it, and not a lot of people loved it in particular, but it was truly an anime that brought something new to the table and exhibited a medley of emotions and feelings whilst experimenting with genre elements going in all directions imaginable. This makes it stand out to this day. If you're someone who thought that the anime was one of a kind and watching it only made you crave more of the same, then you've come to the perfect place. We've picked up some shows for you that are quite similar to Sword Art Online and would make that hole left in your heart by Sword Art's departure fill the right way. So what are we waiting for? Let's dive into the top 5 anime like Sword Art Online. At the end of this list, I'm sure you'll have a lot of new shows that you'll be binging since these shows are similar to Sword Art Online in more ways than one and make it seem like Sword Art Online just never ended. Number 5. Future Diary. A unique medley of action, adventure, mystery, and thrill. It's got something for everyone out there. Sure, the couple is not alike at all, but bear with us on this one. Both anime are based on the game that participants are forced to play in order to survive and be able to see tomorrow once again. They're given no choice but to play, and that's all there is to their lives now. Both feature characters who didn't want to be in the situation they are in and so want to get out of there in one piece while keeping things the way they were when they left the real world and were trapped in this new world all of a sudden. Moreover, they must play by the rules to keep the game in place and going, and must play the game in a way that the master has instructed everyone to play. Both shows feature characters who are in this new world or setting and come across all kinds of characters and make new friends, strengthening their bond all along the way just to lose them as the story progresses. Both feature characters who didn't have friends in real life, but in this world they've come across like-minded people with similar goals, so they are able to relate to each other and be on the same page, favoring their progression towards companionship. There's a god or master in both shows who commends everything and has set the rules. They are similar in a lot of ways despite having different settings and genres. Number 4. Accel World. With a genre blend of action, game, sci-fi, and a bit of romance, Accel World is a lot like Sword Art Online, and in more ways than one at that as well. The character feels similar to each other despite being completely different situations and settings. The virtual world transition and everything is similar since both shows rely on the character getting into this world that they have no idea about and must discover and find answers along the way as to what is right and what's wrong. Both anime features combat that at times looks pretty similar, and this makes them feel like the same since the art style and everything else is quite similar in my opinion. The whole leveling feature is similar as well, with all kinds of battle strategies being devised in order to have an advantage when fighting foes of the highest caliber. The bosses and everything from Sword Art Online are replaced by 6 kings of pure color, which give a similar feeling as well. Moreover, both characters are super good at games, which makes things feel a bit more at home, and kind of like retelling the whole Sword Art Online story. The video game based on the anime are pretty similar as well, so there's that going on too. Moreover, we have a cute duo of a girl and a boy being the main characters, so Kirito sure has quite a competition to uphold as the title of the best isekai couple. A lot is on the line. Number 3. Wanzi Goshu. This Chinese animation that topped the charts back in the day is a medley of action, adventure, games, and supernatural that's sure to catch you off guard to make you reconsider your claims of Japan being the top animator out there. One of the few anime of its kind, Wanzi Goshu is truly something that's quite similar to Sword Art Online. Although the characters are not always in an isekai, and there's not a virtual world or anything, but while playing the game, it feels like the shows have become one since the setting is almost the same. All these battles and those characters that came along while the story progresses and the bonds they develop moving on, they're a lot similar and give us a taste of Sword Art Online, but a Chinese version of it. Moreover, both characters are gods at the games in question and have only a few on skill level par with them. There's also those fancy swords and that swordplay going on that puts the highest of the royal courthouse in disarray as if its teachings aren't good enough. It also features a main character who's cool and able to keep his calm in the toughest situations, and a female character who's cute and has this side to her that makes the main duo really similar in more ways than one. The game part is almost alike and it never feels out of place. It's a must-watch if you want to see Chinese Sword Art Online. Plus, both main characters are really similar to each other when it comes to personalities, so it'll feel like Kirito never left your screen. Plus, he's missed you. Number 2. Hunter x Hunter Greed Island Arc. The major arc in the anime that's been mentioned countless times in the prior ones and made us look forward to it more and more as we dove deeper into the show. The Greed Island arc is a treat for all the gamers out there. Being a typical shonen package of action, adventure, superpower, and martial arts, I doubt there's anyone that hasn't watched it, let alone heard of it. The arc in particular is pretty much the same when put side by side with Sword Art Online. The whole concept of being transported to this other world that's practically a game, and having all these characters who are real people, but are in the game just like you, is already close enough to the setting of Sword Art Online. Moreover, the whole battle system and how there are some rules you must play by in order to succeed and know more about the game is something that both shows share. From devising all those battle strategies to going up against the best of foes in the business, to building all new bonds with new faces never seen before, this particular arc and Sword Art Online have a lot in common. Also, there's the death of the character in the game that would mean the death of the character in real life, so there's that similarity as well. There's also like this final boss thing that they should beat in order to progress further and know more about the game, so it makes things look as if they never changed. The main characters also have a personality like no one. With that earnest nature of them and their regard for the ones they hold dear, both shows are really similar in more ways than one when all aspects of the show are considered. Hunter x Hunter has a lot to it, but this arc in particular is something that's extremely similar to Sword Art Online. Number 1. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in the dungeon? The title makes the show look completely different and something not at all similar to the show in question, but that's not true. Appearances are often deceptive. You should know that clearly by now. I'm sure anime has proved you wrong a million times. Bringing the genre elements of action, adventure, game, and romance to the table, these shows do have a lot in common, and if they were real-life people, they would click right away and be all friendly with each other and just become their BFFs in a few days to come. Having similar settings with the virtual world and video game universe, these shows have all the basics and core things in common, and that's the most important of all. There's also the character duo of a boy and a girl with a bit of romance here and there, so we've got that going. A pinch of comedy is sprinkled in every now and then, which keeps things interesting and makes both shows look like they're following the same route or something, while they're just progressing at their own pace in different directions. The whole battling strategies and level up system is also similar, and the way you have to fight stronger foes as you go is something both shows hold true to. The battles are at times similar and make it look like nothing's changed, while in reality we have entirely different shows to feast our eyes on. To top things off, to seal the deal entirely, we have the same voice actors for the protagonist. So it will truly look like we are viewing Sword Art Online itself in a different world, in a different timeline. This will truly fill the gap left by Sword Art Online in the best way possible. Be sure to leave a like, it helps us a lot, and hit that subscribe button to turn on post notifications, since we post videos featuring anime that you definitely can't miss out on. Till then, goodbye.